God.
Kung kaya ang tawagin ng sambayan ng Pilipino ang prutas na ito na Sharmaine, dapat kaya din nating tawagin sa mga live names nila ang mga kapatid nating transgender.
So I am seriously considering it, preparing for that possibility. Kaya I think it is really necessary na magkaroon kami from our ranks ng strongest, best, most attractive and hopeful offer sa ating mga kababayan.
Putang ina ninyo, Meralco, putang ina ninyo. Ha? Tignan nyo to, putang ina ninyo. Normal pa ba to? Ha? Transmission, 500. Tang ina nyo, paano nyo yung kinukompute? System loss, 370. Distribution, 810. Putang ina ninyo dahil ba dito sa may pumutok na kung saan man hindot? Yung ba yun? Kaya ganyang kalaki ang distribution? Ha? Putang ina mga to. Yung senior citizen, wala akong palag dyan. Yung government taxes, 547. Putang inang government taxes yan, napakalaki. Putang ina. Ano yan? Buong gobyerno pinapala mo namin? Putang ina ninyo ah.
Yung laban po na to na gusto po namin ipanawagan sa pamamahala, sa mapamahala ng gobyerno ng Pilipinas, hindi lamang po laban po namin, hindi laban po natin itong lahat. Sa future po namin mga kabataan, at sa future po ng mga kabataan, pagdating po sa susunod po na henerasyon.
Nasasaktan kami sa nababasa, nakikita na korupsyon si Senator Marcoleta. Isa sa mga pangunahing lumalaban para sa korupsyon. Masakit sa amin yun kasi kung sino yung mga lumalaban sa korupsyon, sila yung inuunang ipakulong.
Hindi ako magtatago, sinasabi ko sa nila, hindi sila mananalo. Pwede lang ako makulong, hindi ako magtatago, lalaban ako at kung kaya ko pa magsalita na magsalita, magsasalita ako laban dito.
When I saw that spontaneously lumabas ang mga tao, I felt I owe it to them na the fight is not just in the Senate, it's in the hearts and minds.
Hey everyone, nandito na naman tayo. You know, it's honestly amazing na kahit nasan ka man sa mundo, abot na abot pa rin ang balita mula sa Pilipinas dahil sa social media, okay? And no matter how far away you are, kitang-kita mo agad kung saan ang may kalokohan. Because when something smells bad, you can spot the bullshit from a mile away. Now let's start with what's happening sa Pilipinas ngayon. May nagaganap na rally para suportahan si Senator Marcoleta. Think about the massive irony here, okay? Only in the Philippines. Sa Pilipinas lang talaga nangyayari na kung sino pa ang naghahanap ng katotohanan and trying to find justice for the Filipino people, sila pa itong pilit na aarestuhin, di ba? Napakagaling talaga ng mga buwaya dyan. But wait, okay? It gets better. Balita natin, si Maring Risa Hontiveros nagbabalak tumakbo bilang presidente sa next election. Ambot lang gyud, madam. Ambot lang gyud sa imo. Kasi seriously, ang laking issue ng PhilHealth funds, hindi mo pa nga masagot-sagot ng diretsyo, di ba? Your solid stance on the flood control hearings nasaan? Ni hindi ka nga makatayo ng maayos dun eh. You don't even speak up about it. Tas ngayon, gusto mo tumakbo as president? Layog na lang, uy. Madam, you have a mountain of messy issues to clean up first. Wala ka pang napapatunayan sa totoong buhay ng mga Pilipino. And you don't get to just walk out or throw a tantrum tuwing hindi mo nagugustuhan ng mga tanong sa'yo. Giatay ba? And speaking of a total lack of accountability, silipin naman natin ang mga kalsada natin. Look up at the sky sa mga syudad nyo ngayon. You will see those overly tangled, nagkakabuhol-buhol na spaghetti wires na nakasabit sa itaas. Bagamat bawat syudad ay may ganitong problema, ba't makikiuso pa tayo? Ano na, Lieko? Ano na, Meralco? PLDT, Converge. Lahat na. It's a literal cluster of internet cables, telephone lines, at kuryente mash-up. Pero no, kung makapag-charge kayo ng singil sa kuryente, buwan-buwan, grabe. Napakataas. Mas mataas pa sa sahod isang Pilipino. And to be honest, tuwing nakakita ko ng ganyang kagulong wires, nakakasuka. It's really giving me a severe OCD attack. Okay? And lastly, we have to talk about this newly filed Sharmaine bill sa Kongreso. Oh boy. Anyway, welcome back to my channel.
Nasorpresa nga yung marami kaninang umaga dahil sa biglaang pagtitipon ng mga miyembro ng INC. Isang araw yan matapos sabihin ng Office of the Ombudsman na posibleng ngayong linggo nila kakasuhan ng pandarambong si Marcoleta na isang kasapi ng iglesia at 3 iba pa. Kaugnay ito ng pagtanggap ni Marcoleta ng 75 million peso campaign donations mula sa iba't ibang pribadong tao para sa eleksyon. Sa video ng Quezon City Police, nagkagirian ng mga pulis at relihista kaninang umaga.
Ngayong laban po na to na gusto po namin ipanawagan sa pamamahala, sa mapamahala ng gobyerno ng Pilipinas, hindi lamang po laban po namin, kundi laban po natin itong lahat. Sa future po naming mga kabataan at sa future po ng mga kabataan pagdating po sa susunod po na henerasyon.
Nasasaktan kami sa nababasa, nakikita na korupsyon si Senator Marcoleta, isa sa mga pangunahing lumalaban para sa korupsyon. Masakit sa amin yun kasi kung sino yung mga lumalaban sa korupsyon, sila yung inuunang ipakulungan.
Dumalo rin dito sa rally ang mga kilalang kaalyado ni Marcoleta, kabilang dyan si Senador Alan Peter Cayetano na nagsalita sa harap ng mga nagpoprotesta. Gayon din si dating anak kalusugan Representative Mike Defensor na kasama sa posible ng kasuhan ng Ombudsman ngayong linggo.
Magtatago. Noon pa hindi ako nagtatago. Sinasabi ko sa nila, hindi sila mananalo. Pwede lang ako makulong, hindi ako magtatago. Lalaban ako at kung kaya ko pa magsalita na magsalita, magsasalita ako laban dito.
When I saw that spontaneously lumabas ang mga tao, I felt I owe it to them na the fight is not just in the Senate, it's in the hearts and minds.
Now, let's talk about the big elephant in the room. Sa dinami-dami ng mga senador sa Pilipinas, si Senator Marcoleta lang ang may lakas ng loob na mag-push para investigahan itong flood control anomaly. Now, we are talking about billions and billions of pesos of taxpayers' money na biglang naglaho na parang bula. Pero tuwing uulan, mas mabilis pa sa alas 5 ang baha. We know that Marcoleta has been actively digging up the receipts, uncovering the ghost projects, and demanding real transparency. But look, what a coincidence, no? Just as the hearings are heating up, biglang gumagalaw ang Office of the Ombudsman upang maghain ng plunder charges laban sa kanya. And now, there's a looming arrest warrant hanging over his head. And wow, diba? The timing is absolutely impeccable. It's just perfect. Seryoso. Ano tayo pinanganak kahapon? You expect us to believe that this is not politically motivated. The man is actively shaking the table, exposing the massive corruption behind these multi-billion flood control scandals at ang sagot ng gobyerno, kakasuhan siya para tuluyan siyang makulong at mapatahimik. Diba? Two birds in one stone. Dalawang ibon sa isang putok. Not only do they get to kill the flood control investigation, they also block him from participating in the upcoming political trials next week. This is what we call selective justice at its absolute finest. Kasi ganun only in the Philippines. Kung sino pa ang humahabol sa magnanakaw, siya pa ang gustong ipakulong ng sistema. And habang ang mga totoong buwaya, ang mga totoong kurap magnanakaw, nagpapakasasa sa bilyong pondo ng bayan, di ba? But you know what? I want to see the bright side of it. There is a silver lining here. Because of all this blatant, shameless corruption, Filipinos are finally waking up. We are not blind. Hindi kami bulag. Hindi kami bingi. Kitang-kita namin ang lahat ng maduduming laro ng mga politiko na yan. Kasi if Marcoleta is willing to risk everything to fight for the truth and for the Filipino people, the people will do the exact same thing for him. Kaya nga may malawakang rally ngayon sa EDSA, di ba? The public has had enough. It is just so incredibly disappointing na halos lahat ng nakaupo ngayon sa gobyerno mukhang sangkot o nakikinabang or nakinabang. And they're just desperately trying to cover up the truth. Guys, look. I may not have the biggest platform on the internet. Hindi ako ang pinakasikat o pinakakilala. But I promise you this. I will never ever stop showing you how dirty, greedy, and completely kawalang puso these politicians are. Sila na supposedly ay nandyan para magsilbi sa taong bayan. Pero sarili nilang bulsa ang pinagsisilbihan nila. You know, we need to change our mindset. Hindi na natin dapat iboboto ang mga taong walang ibang plano kundi ang payamanin ang sarili nila imbis na tulungan ang bansa natin. So tingnan niyo yung mga mukhang yan. Tandaan niyo silang mabuti. Mark their faces because when the election comes, we will hold them accountable. Never again. And you know, I was scrolling through social media the other day and came across this video detailing exactly why Singapore succeeded and the Philippines did not.
Did you know that back in the 1960s, the Philippines was actually richer than Singapore? Singapore back then was a swampy island, and they were literally kicked out of Malaysia. So how did they become an economic superpower while we got left behind? It boils down to two main things: strong institutions and long-term planning. When Singapore became independent in 1965 under Lee Kuan Yew, they had absolutely zero natural resources. They even had to buy their drinking water from Malaysia. So they focused on their only asset, their people. They built a hyper-efficient government and made corruption completely zero tolerance. If you steal from the public in Singapore, your career is instantly over. This absolute transparency made giant global companies trust them with billions of dollars. In the Philippines, it was the exact opposite. We are naturally blessed with gold, copper, rich agriculture, and incredibly talented people. But our biggest roadblock has been political instability and a lack of continuity. Every time a new president steps into office, great projects from the previous administration are often scrapped or changed. Decades of systemic corruption and powerful monopolies also suffocated free competition, making it harder for everyday businesses to thrive. Singapore also used its geographic location to become the shipping and logistics capital of the world. While they were building advanced factories and global tech hubs, the Philippines became heavily dependent on sending its brightest minds abroad, relying on OFW remittances just to keep the domestic economy afloat. At the end of the day, Singapore succeeded because they chose strict discipline and ironclad systems over politics. The Philippines has all the potential in the world. We just need a system that finally works for the people, not the politicians. What do you think is the first thing we need to change?
And wow, talk about a massive slap in the face. Just think about it. Singapore had absolutely zero natural resources. Literal swamps, okay? But they built a world-class superpower because they enforced a strict, completely uncompromising system. Walang sinasanto ang batas dito sa Singapore, ha? If you corrupt the nation, you are weeded out instantly. Tapos. Meanwhile, looking at our home country, the Philippines. You know, the Philippines has everything. We have all the ultimate potential, the rich natural resources, the most hardworking people in the world. Yet, bakit hanggang ngayon, we're still desperately trying to catch up? I'll tell you exactly why. Because our system protects the criminals and punishes the people chasing the truth. That's it. That's the main reason. And I don't think Philippines wants to be progressive. This kind of administration.
Seryoso pinag-iisipan ni Senadora Risa Hontiveros ang pagtakbo sa pagkapangulo sa eleksyon 2028. Sagot po ito ni Hontiveros nang hingan siya ng reaksyon kaugnay ng mga nananawagan sa kanyang pagtakbo. Ayon sa Senadora, umaasa siyang magkakaisa ang kanilang grupo para piliin ang pinakamalakas na kandidato.
So I am seriously considering it, preparing for that possibility. Kaya I think it is really necessary na magkaroon kami from our ranks ng strongest, best, most attractive and hopeful offer sa ating mga kababayan at mga kapwa-botante. There can be only one para may fighting chance.
Ano po yung natin ng factor significant tayo?
Well, syempre yung mga indicators, for example, yung survey results of that strength, of that wide support mula sa ating mga kababayan ng botante.
Now let's move on to another favorite character in this grand political theater. Kakalabas lang ng mga balita, natatakbo daw si Maring Risa Hontiveros, di ba? She's seriously considering running for president sa susunod na eleksyon. They even launched a whole Risa na movement recently. Ambot lang yun sa imo, madam. Ambot lang. Seryoso ka ba? You wanna run the entire country, pero simpleng pananagutan at diretsyong sagot sa taong bayan, hindi mo maibigay. Okay, so, let's look at the facts, okay? Imagine all these years, millions of Filipinos have been asking for absolute clear accountability regarding the PhilHealth funds issue back when you were on the board. Sasabihin ng mga defenders mo, oh, she was cleared. Pero bakit hanggang ngayon, ordinaryong Pilipino pa rin ang pumapasa ng palpak na sistema ng PhilHealth mo? And habang ang mga pondo, laging kulang. You claim to be the champion of the poor and the sick. Pero kapag totoong transparency na ang hinihingi ng publiko, tikom lang ang bibig mo. Wala lang. Tahimik. Tahimik si ate girl, si auntie. And speaking of missing funds, nasaan ka nung ginaganap ang mga crucial hearings tungkol sa flood control issue? Wala. Nag-walk out. You know, the country is literally drowning every single rainy season. Bilyon-bilyon ang nawawala, maraming Pilipino ang namamatay. And you're supposed to be this great opposition leader checking the government's power. Pero bakit tila tahimik ka yata, madam? Nilalagpasan mo lang ang mga pinakamalaking issue na nagpapahirap sa bansa. Tapos ngayon, ang lakas ng loob mong mag-ambisyon na maging presidente? Kulang ka po ata sa tulog. Layog na lang, madam. Layog na lang. 'Cause no freaking way. And by the way, this is the exact same person who proudly stands on the stage pushing the narrative, children are not criminals. Yes, protect the youth at all costs, right? Well, madam, let me ask you this. When syndicates and criminal networks intentionally exploit minors to commit heavy crimes on the streets because they know the law, they read the law, and alam nilang hindi sila gagalawin, di ba? Sino ang pumuprotekta sa mga biktima? Sino ang pumuprotekta sa mga ordinaryong mamamayan? Kasi ikaw, you love using this emotional, elite academic buzzwords. Pero you're totally detached sa totoong realidad ng mga pamilyang Pilipino sa ibaba. You don't get to act like a savior on social media and then completely avoid the hard questions in real life. Kasi hindi ka pwedeng mag-walk out lang, mag-inarte o mag-iwan ng microphone tuwing hindi mo nagugustuhan ang takbo ng diskusyon. Madam, alam kong ambisyosa ka, but you have a mountain of messy, unresolved contradictions you need to fix first. Wala ka pang napapatunayan sa pang-araw-araw na buhay ng masang Pilipino. Para maging karapat-dapat sa pinakamataas na posisyon ng bansa. If you can't even stand strong, face the music, and fix the issues right under your nose, you have absolutely no business dreaming of leading more than 100 million Filipinos. Straight up. Now let's shift our focus to something that affects our daily lives, but yet completely exposes the absolute failure of local governance and multi-billion corporate utility companies. Silipin naman natin ang mga kalsada natin. Just look up at the sky, you know? Sa mga syudad nyo ngayon, tingin kayo sa labas. Tingin kayo sa labas ng bahay nyo. Ano ang nakikita nyo? You will see those overly tangled, nagkakabuhol-buhol na spaghetti wires na nakasabit sa itaas.
Putang ina ninyo, Meralco. Putang ina ninyo. Ha? Tignan nyo to, putang ina ninyo. Normal pa ba to? Ha? Transmission, limandaan. Tang ina nyo, paano nyo yung kinukomplete? System loss, 370. Distribution, 810. Putang ina ninyo dahil ba dito sa may pumutok na kung saan man hindot? Yung ba yun? Kaya ganyang kalaki ang distribution? Ha? Putang ina mga to. Yung senior citizen, wala akong palag dyan. Yung government taxes, 547. Putang inang government taxes yan, napakalaki. Putang ina. Ano yan? Buong gobyerno pinapala mo namin? Putang ina ninyo ah. Universal charges, putang ina, pati universe babayaran namin, putang ina ninyo. Fit all, putang ina ninyo, di ba sinabi na, ay, pasabihin mo wala pa yung 100 piso, putang ina piso ba pinupulot pa ngayon, ha? Ha, tang ina, yung lifeline, 4 na piso lang naman, pero marami talagang pumapalag dyan, maraming may ayaw niyan. Kasi itong other charges nyo, yung other charges, hindi nyo nga mapaliwanag yung putang inang other charges na yan eh. Ha? 100, halos mag 150, putang ina ninyo. Bakit? Para saan yung putang inang other charges na yan at wala kayong specific na paliwanag? Ano ba saan na ako magbibigay ng 147 pesos? Putang ina mga to, ang ina ninyo, napakagahaman nyo, putang ina ninyo. Akala nyo, lahat ng ginagawa ninyo, ha? May bilang yan, putang ina ninyo. Hindi nyo madadala pera nyo sa hukay, putang ina ninyo. Talagang pagdudusahan niyo ang mga hindot kayo at lahat ng politiko na hindi tumutulong sa amin at hinahayaan kaming malubog sa ganitong sitwasyon, putang ina niyo din lahat, putang ina ninyo.
Hindi na natin kailangan lumayo, okay? Let's take Tacloban as a close example. Bagamat alam naman nating lahat na bawat syudad sa Pilipinas may ganitong problema. It is a literal cluster of internet cables, telephone lines, and high voltage power lines all mashed up together. Now, to be completely honest with you, tuwing nakakakita ko ng ganyang kagulong wires, nasusuka ako. It's giving me a severe OCD attack. Napakadumi, napaka-peligro, at mukhang pugad ng gagamba na nagbabanta ng sunog araw-araw. And who is responsible for this total eyesore and public hazard? I know. Let's call them out directly. PLDT, the Converge, the Globe, Smart, Meralco, Lieco, mga local electric cooperatives natin. Kayo dyan. You apply for permits, you attach these heavy cables to the posts, but nobody is even managing them. Alam niyo kung bakit naging ganyan kagulo yan? Because these companies upgraded to fiber internet but left all their old and dead copper DSL wires just dangling out there. Tinatamad na kasi silang maglinis ng sarili nilang kalat. They just keep adding new cables on top of the old ones and creating a structural ticking time bomb. But here is the real kicker, okay? Kahit ganyan kadumi ang completely dangerous ang physical infrastructure na binibigay nila sa atin, kung makasingil sa kuryente at internet buwan-buwan, grabe. Mas mataas pa sa sahod ng isang manggagawa. Sisingilin ka ng buo, walang bawas kapag na-late ka ng bayad kahit isang araw lang, and ang bilis nilang mag-disconnect o mag-penalty sa'yo. 'Di ba? Apakabilis maningil ng pera. Pero pagdating sa paglilingkod at pag-aayos ng mga nakalaylay na kable na yan, ang babagal nyo. Pakabagal. And where are our local officials and regulators in all of this? NTC, the city engineering offices, the mayors. Bakit hinahayaan nyo lang yan? Every city has this problem, yet the local governments across the country just look the other way, leaving the ordinary citizens to shoulder both the physical danger and the urban blight. Magpakatotoo nga tayo rito. Hindi lang ito usapin ng pagiging madumi ng syudad. This is a literal death trap. Tingnan nyo kapag may dumarating na bagyo. Isang hagupit lang ng hangin, babagsak ang mga nagbibigatang kable na yan. Imagine live, high-voltage wires snapping and submerging into flood waters where regular people are waiting just to get home. Talagang papatayin nyo ba sa kuryente ang mga Pilipino, ang mga tao nyo dyan sa syudad nyo? O kaya kapag nagkasunog, hindi makakapasok ang mga fire truck dahil barado ang mga eskinita ng spaghetti wires nyo. And habang ang mga kumpanyang ito ay nagpapakasarap sa bilyong-bilyong kita, ang publiko naman ang nagbabayad para sa infrastruktura na banta sa buhay ng komunidad. Corporate greed enabled by government incompetence. Are we gonna accept a bare minimum? Okay na lang ba tayo sa kung ano na lang ang gagawin ng gobyerno kung may trip silang gawin? Or kung okay yung mood nila today, may gagawin sila? Are we just gonna accept na, ay, ganun talaga eh. Sanay na kami dyan. If the same people in every city sit in the local government and never thought of making their city progressive, even kahit sa maliliit lang na bagay, they are not worth it to be there in the first place. Hindi nila deserve ang pwesto na yan. And if we want change, we need to change the leaders who are actually willing to make their cities progressive. Period. Now let's talk about our fur babies. They give us unconditional love, so it's our responsibility to give them the best care possible. If you want to protect your pets, healthy growth, standard kibble just isn't enough. That's why you need Pet Pillar, pet chews, and pet nutritional supplement. Look at this. It's packed with 12 plus key vitamins specifically formulated to boost their immune system, maintain high energy levels, and keep their coat incredibly shiny. So whether you have a cat or a dog, this supplement fills in those critical nutritional gaps. And you know the best part? One bottle contains approximately 200 multivitamins tablets. It's an easy, cost-effective way to ensure long-term health, which is always better and cheaper than expensive vet bills. Give your pets the health upgrade they deserve. So check the link in my description below and on my pinned comments. Now let's look at the House Bill 9929. Ang pinakabagong panukalang batas na inihahandog sa atin ng mga progresibong mambabatas sa Kongreso.
Mga kapatid, kilala niyo ba siya? Ano ang pangalan niya? Kung kaya ang tawagin ng sambayan ng Filipino ang prutas na ito na Sharmaine, dapat kaya din nating tawagin sa mga live names nila ang mga kapatid nating transgender, non-binary at intersex. Kaya ipinail natin ang Lived Identity Recognition Act, also known as Sharmaine Bill. Pero grabe yung naranasan naming bashing online. Pare-parehong argumento na 3 dekada na nating naririnig. But when we drown out the noise, we will hear what is essential. Habang binabash tayo, narinig natin, pambihirang ligaya, pambihirang joy yung naramdaman ng mga transgender when we filed the Sharmaine Bill. The same joy na naramdaman ng mga couples at ng mga solo parents, ng mga elderly when we filed in the last Congress yung isang panukalang batas na unang sinimulan sa Quezon City, ang Right to Care Bill. And we felt the same joy from our intersex brothers and sisters when we filed the Kagandahan Bill. The same joy na naramdaman naman ng mga taong lumalaban na ng higit 2 dekada habang papalapit na tayo sa pagsasabatas ng SOGI Equality Bill. Joy! Joy is the core of our struggle. We describe pride in so many ways. A protest, a celebration. But in the end, it is about joy. Ang sabi ng mga aktivista noon, we bury our friends in the morning, we protest in the afternoon, and we dance all night. Pride is the dance of our lives. Pride is the joy of our lives. And pride is the community that we are seeing here today.
They officially filed the Lived Identities and Recognition Act, pero ang mas kilalang palayaw nito ay ang Sharmaine Bill. Seryoso, hindi to joke guys ha. Hindi to comedy skit. They actually named a piece of national legislation after a viral TikTok meme about an orange fruit complaining that its name was uninspired and wanting to be called Sharmaine. Ang mas malala pa, during the press statement, An author of the bill literally said,
Kung kaya ang tawagin ng sambayan ng Pilipino ang prutas na ito na Sharmaine, dapat kaya din nating tawagin sa mga live names nila ang mga kapatid nating transgender, non-binary at intersex.
Giatay ba? Excuse me, seryoso ba kayo? Are we using attacking citrus fruit on social media as the legal benchmark for policy making now? Is the Philippine Congress a house of serious legislation o naging extensions na lang kayo ng For You page sa TikTok? Okay, look. I've said this before, okay? You can call yourself whatever you want. Kung gusto mong tawaging mansanas, saging, bao, o Sharmaine ang sarili mo, go ahead. I don't care. Pero ang isiksik nyo ang sarili nyo just to force everyone else to accept you, that is nuts. Again, you can do whatever you want with your personal life. But you can never change how people think. Let's stick to biology here. We only have male and female. Male, female. Ang hirap din kasi sa inyo, ginusto na namang maging ganyan. Hindi naman kayo pinilit ng kahit sino. Pero ngayon, gusto nyo pang ipilit sa buong lipunan niyang gusto nyo? Wala pa nga silang naiipasang batas o kahit anong bill para dyan. Pero kung makaasta at mag-demand kayo, masyado na kayong entitled. Ano pa kaya kung magkaroon talaga ng ganyang batas, no? Ano na lang? If you cannot even accept who you biologically and truly are, bakit nyo isasaksak sa buong komunidad ang kawalan nyo ng acceptance sa sarili nyo? You keep shouting that you want respect, pero kayo mismo dyan, hindi kayo marunong magpakita ng respeto sa iba. So for example na lang natin you're a transgender woman, tapos ipipilit mo na gusto mong gumamit ng washroom ng mga totoong, ng mga legit na babae, okay? Don't you know na may mga actual cases na kung saan may mga lalaking nagkukunwari, nagde-dress up lang bilang babae at pumupunta sa women's room para lang mamboso at mambastos ng mga kababaihan. Guys, don't keep me going because this is all facts. And before kayo mag-demand ng mga transgender exclusive whatever, maggising-gising naman kayo sa reality. Napakaraming mas mabibigat na problema ang Pilipinas na kailangang i-prioritize. Look at the absolute detachment here. While the ordinary Filipinos is literally drowning in floodwaters, enduring daily brownout, takot para sa safety and struggling to pay soaring electricity bills, ang priority sa Maynila ay ang maging woke, maging trendy, at mag-cloud chase gamit ang isang viral na prutas. Bagsak ang ekonomiya, by the way. Kulang ang classrooms. Bulbol ang mga kable sa daan. Hindi tayo safe. Pero ang inuuna nating ipasa sa plenaryo ay batas para mapabilis ang pagpapalit ng gender marker sa ID dahil lang nag-trend sa internet. Really? It just shows you how completely out of touch these politicians are. Mas madali nga naman kasing sumakay sa clout ng internet trends para magbukang progressive kaysa ayusin ang totoong problema ng masang Pilipino.
Ladies, you are going to like this. Have you ever dreamed of owning a gorgeous designer bags, but you just can't justify the insane boutique price tags? Now, meron ako para sa inyo. Look at this. What if I told you you could own a designer piece of luxury without breaking the bank? Right now, on the website, you can discover a breathtaking curated collection of vintage pre-loved designer bags carefully sourced straight from Japan. And each piece has its own unique story and enduring quality, so giving you that ultimate head-turning look for a fraction of the cost. It is the ultimate inside secret of affordable luxury. who knows what rare hidden gem is waiting on the site for you. Don't worry about the hassle. We deliver safely and swiftly straight to your doorstep via JMT Express. So what are you waiting for? Visit us at DeeLuxeFinds.com. I'll share the link below. I'll see you there.
At the end of the day, my goal here isn't just to rent. Ang point ko lang naman, wag na tayong papayag na maging tanga at magpauto sa mga sarswela nila. From the politically motivated charges against leaders who are actually trying to expose corruption, to politicians acting like celebrities, chasing higher offices, it is all one big giant distraction. Isang malaking palabas para hindi natin mapansin ang dumi at kapalpakan ng sistema. I may not have the biggest platform on the internet, but I will never stop calling out these politicians who have completely lost their focus. Tandaan nyo ang mga mukhang yan. Mark their names. Next election, let's vote for leaders who actually want to build the country and focus on real development and not just line their pockets and trend on social media. Never again. Anyway, let me know what you think about this Sharmaine bill in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.